So here are my guys, and our cartons are ready for pickup, guys. You can see our little princesses inside. My boot is open and we are ready to load up. You want to pick up your chicks very early in the morning. Stick with me, guys. So there we go, guys. We have picked up our 1071 chicks from Douala, and now I'm driving back to Limbe, Cameroon, Central Africa, which is about an hour's drive, guys. You also want to put in mind some aspect before even picking up your day old chicks, that your number one, your brooder is set up, your drinkers are clean, your feeders are clean, and all filled with feed and water. And of course, don't forget that before you even pick up your day old chicks, these things should be put in place, because you don't want to get them to your farm and then you keep them waiting for an hour or two. It might cause mortality, guys. Another thing very important is your medication, guys. Your medication, the first thing to do, the first medication which I recommend is anti-stress, guys. You want to administer anti-stress to them, because when you pick them up, possibly they must have stressed up a lot, just like human, and when we become so stressed, we need some kind of relaxation, guys. So this anti-stress is going to help them to relax and then to be able to eat and then drink, because your goal at this point in time is to regulate, number one, their temperature, number two, to help them to eat as much as they can, and also to help them to drink as much more water as they can. You can see me regulating the heat in my vehicle, opening the rooftop. I've also purchased a back of my coal, because during the night times it must be very cold in their brooder, guys. So you have to have your heaters also prepared and ready, guys. For me, I had to purchase my coal on the roadside to Limbe, which is also okay, guys. You want to make sure that these things are set in place. You can see me also regulating the ventilation in the vehicle, guys, the coolness versus the heat, so that they don't become too hot, they don't also equally become too cold, because these are things that might cause mortality, guys. So we are still on our way to Limbe, and very soon I will be arriving Limbe, and I'm going to share with you how I raise up this chicken from day old 1071 right up to day 7. I'm going to be showing you the pictures and sharing with you some tips, techniques and strategies in order to minimize your mortality rate. Of course, put much more money in your pocket, guys. So there we go, guys. Limbe, welcome to Limbe, Cameroon. From Douala, I've been driving just about 15 minutes, guys. The traffic wasn't much today, and also the control wasn't that hectic today. So I'm so happy for the safe drive. And here we are in Limbe, guys, and very soon we are approaching Farmer Freak, and I'm going to be sharing with you how the entrance to Farmer Freak looks like. And I'm so excited. I've also purchased some papers, some carbon papers right there, because at this point in time, at this stage of these day old chickens, they find it so difficult to distinguish between feed and liters, okay? Because you don't want them to feed from the litter. It might block their respiratory system, and of course they will not be able to eat and drink, which of course will lead to so much more mortality, guys. If you have been following so far and you put all of these tips together and put all of these techniques and strategies together, you are of course going to be a better farmer, guys. Remember, this is me, my batch 1, my very first batch, and I prepared everything because I don't want to make mistakes, guys. I don't want to make mistakes. You can see my carbon paper, my coal right there, and I'm going to be adding them. I have already prepared my brooder, the litter, which I already dried for like 4 days before even picking up my day old chicks, because you don't also want to do with wet litter, guys. You don't want to do with wet litter. Of course, my brooder is prepared, my heaters, my lighting is all prepared, my feeders, my drinkers are all clean, and anti-stress is also waiting. Once I arrive at the farm, it is to unbox these little princesses to enter into their pen comfortably. That is the way you reduce mortality. Above all else, guys, do not play with cleanliness in your brooder, in your pen, in your poultry farm. Cleanliness counts, guys. Your feed is also ready, your water, your drinkers, medication is ready, and guys, I'm so excited. Welcome to Farmer Freak, guys. This is me driving in. Remember, we have done a lot on this road for my vehicle to even pull. So here we are, guys, at Farmer Freak. Thank God for the safe drive, guys. Offloading started, guys. You can see the workers already picking up our day old, our little princesses, guys. So there we go, guys. We decided to separate them into two different groups of 550 and 521 each. This is to make them much more closer, to keep them much more closer to the heat source, because if you don't do this, you're going to spend a lot on heating. And another thing, like I told you, you can see the carbon papers which I purchased. That is because much of the feed has to be spread on this paper, because like I told you also, at this point in their life, at this stage, they don't know which one is food versus litter, okay? Which you don't want to let them to feed from that litter, okay? You can see our heat, our charcoal right there is burning. That is the second group right there. And you can see, when you look very keenly, you will see that they are all piling up closer to the heat source, okay? Now you can see them closer to the bulbs. That is because they are looking for heat as much more as possible, guys. You want to regulate your heat, you should be having between 32 to 34, okay? You want to have between 32 to 34 heatness in this pen right from the beginning, right up to day 21. But I'm going to be sharing with you how to regulate your heatness, guys. You don't want to keep it too long, guys. So you can see how much beauty this our brooder is looking, how much work we have done on it, and how exciting these guys are looking, because we took time to prepare for them for their arrival, guys. We took time to prepare for their arrival, and you can see everything is all in place. Like I told you, you don't want to play with your disinfectant before you access your brooder. Even if it is strangers, you want to disinfect their legs. I even tell my workers to wash their hands before even accessing the brooder, because we want to say goodbye to diseases, which it is almost impossible, but we just have to do our best in order to try to make our brooder, our pen, as clean as possible, guys. You can see them growing up. It is just like 2 days now, day 2 now, and they are healthily eating and drinking. And of course, you are becoming a better farmer, putting all these practices together, putting all these tips and techniques which I have been sharing with you, from picking up your day olds and growing them from day 1 to 7. You are becoming a better farmer. You are minimizing mortality rate, and of course, putting much more money into your pocket. This is day 2, and see how healthy they are looking at, guys. Okay, guys, on day 7, we have lost 16 birds altogether from our 1071. Remember, this is our very first experience, my very first experience in life. But because I was able to put in place different aspects of biosecurities, cleanliness, and taking care of these birds the way I would take care of my own little baby at home, because I was able to put all of these practices together here at Farmer Freak. Our mortality rate isn't that huge, guys. I would say, like I told you, we divided them into two groups of 550 and 521 each. We have lost 16, and we continue to rock here at Farmer Freak. Remember, day 7 is vaccination day. The toughest part is to raise them from day 1 to day 7, because once they are vaccinated, guys, you stand a chance of 80-20. The reason why I say 80-20 is 80% you are sure that their mortality rate is going to reduce drastically to even 0, guys. What you need to do from that point is just to administer your biosecurity and then your cleanliness, and make sure they eat and feed very well. Another thing is, you don't want your birds to eat and feed and drink 24/7, guys. There is this aspect of darkness which I have learned to at least give them a 2 to 3 hours of darkness every day, guys. That is going to help to build their immune system, their digestive system, to rest before they eat and drink again, guys. You can see how healthy these guys are looking. We have vaccinated them. We are mixing the vaccine, and we are not going to be administering one at a time. We're just going to mix the vaccine in water for them to drink. Before this time, we have staffed them for some hours, okay? You can see we took out all the drinkers because we want them to be thirsty enough that once the vaccine is administered, they are going to happily consume. And at that point in time, you are going to identify which bird isn't eating or drinking. Then that bird will certainly have a problem, guys. So you can see how our guys are doing here. Just day 7, we have achieved this height, this growth. Then it is really working and massive, guys. You just want to follow my tips, techniques, and strategies, guys. You can see we have also taken out the carbon paper which we had, because at this point in time they can identify which is food and which one is litter. Guys, I'm so excited, and this was Farmer Freak. I hope you learned something. Please click that bell notification on and make sure you subscribe. I will see you around.